Good morning, good morning, good morning. Grab your favorite beverage and come and join me. Yeah, that's where I'm staying. And today I decided to sit down here at this cute little table. There's Dunk. Yeah, he's never far. Sit down. There's this little courtyard. It's so cute down here. I have my beverage. Go grab yours and join me as I get comfy here with you. Because I've been thinking about a couple of things. Bring it down. Because I've been thinking about a couple of things, and I just wanted to share some with you. How have you been doing today? Have you started off, has your day been starting off good? I hope so. Maybe you're not catching me in the morning. Maybe you're catching me at night. Have you had a great day? Oh, there he goes. Gonna go explore. And he thinks that because I'm on the phone, that he can go and explore and I won't notice. Little stinker. Do you have a little stinker? Do they do that? Whether it's a kid or a dog, they seem to know when you're on the phone and they go and do stuff like that. Which makes me have to go and check. Come on. We'll go see what he's doing. Because I don't want him to get out in front of cars or go someplace he shouldn't. Come on, Duncan. You got to come back this way, buddy. Here, I'll show you. See? The cutest little place. We are so fortunate to have found this incredible place. That is actually a law office. And then we're staying up on the second floor. Come on, buddy. He's stopping to smell all the stuff. But it's really pretty. And here, I'll give you a little tour. Here, it turns out that these are all like pink and red. You see them? They're all pink and red. It's really, really pretty. All right, buddy. Come on. All right. So, by now I hope you have your beverage and you're snuggled in and found a comfortable spot. And I just wanted to talk a little bit today about something that has really, no, buddy, you gotta lay down. Something that's been on my mind a ton. So much so that it has been part of my intention over the last year. And it keeps coming up over and over and over and over and over again. Do you notice that? Do you notice that? When you have an intention or a goal or a thought or something that you see for the first time and then you see it everywhere, that's your reticular activator being activated so that you can now see things that you couldn't see before, things that you didn't think were important, and now you realize they are. So what have I triggered in my brain that it keeps finding more and more examples of? Friends. The importance of friendship, the what does it take to be a friend? What kind of friend do I want? What kind of friend am I to others? Do I even have friends? I've sat in contemplation a lot about this lately, and I am the first one to tell you that I feel I could be a better friend. I do. I feel I could be a better friend. I think there's always room for improvement. I'm a pretty good friend, but I think I could be better. And I also know a little bit more what I'm looking for in a friend. Does that make sense? And so, a lot of things I've learned about friendship and that I've determined are good for me. And so often friendships are cultivated. They're not hi and now you're my best friend, right? They're things that are flourish. My word for the year, flourish. They flourish over time. And I feel that friendship takes time, meaning not just duration, but time spent together. Experiences, not just dinners, just experiences. And the ability for me to be vulnerable, to share, to, hey, I'm really struggling. I'm not doing well. I'm not in a good space today. I don't really do that. I don't think I ever have done that. And I've had the ability or been put in situations this year that I have done that. And sitting here wondering, hey, do I even have friends? I mean, I know a lot of people, and I know that I've had experiences with a lot of people, but a lot of the people that I had experiences with aren't local to where I'm at, right? So I've got friends in California, and I've got friends in Europe, and I've got friends in Florida, and I've got friends in New England, and I've got friends in Chicago, but I don't feel like I have a real solid friend group in Virginia. And so I set out on an intention to create some. But in order to do that, you need to spend time, right? You need to foster those friendships. You need to create memories and opportunities to experience life together, right? And so I planted some seeds. I've met some new people. We'll see where that goes. But I also realized that in order to have those deep, meaningful friendships, I have to feel safe enough to share when I'm not just at my high, but when I'm also at my low. Is this making any sense? So, as luck would have it, because I want to foster friendships, and I guess I wanted evidence that I actually have friends, right? That the people that have been in my life, I think that friends come into our lives for a reason, a season, or a lifetime. Not everybody is in my life for a lifetime. It's just the way it is. And it's really hard sometimes to let those friendships fizzle, right? I can always resurrect them. But the ones that are, Linda, I was getting ready to just talk about you. That's really interesting. The friendships that are long-term can go through cycles, right? Where we're closer and we spend more time together, and then we might not. And just because we might not, Duncan, don't go far. Just because we might not doesn't mean that should I need them or should they need me, that we can't resurrect and bring that friendship back up to the level that it used to be. So in analyzing and pursuing and thinking about and, I don't know, determining, do I even have friends, and what is a friend, and why do I want them so badly? It has given me opportunities to put this into practice. So this year, as many of you know, last year in December, my dad passed. It was really hard for me to reach out in the thick of it. Like, it's one thing when it's over, but in the middle of it all happening and saying, hey, I need some help. I need some support. And to be able to sit there with someone and not feel judged and not feel criticized or critiqued, and truly just embraced and be able to fall apart, be able to go, my good friend Linda here, go down the junk food aisle in a grocery store and fill a carton with junk food, and not feel judged and just feel embraced and warmed and supported, was super special. I also have a situation recently where my daughter moved to Los Angeles. And for those of you who live there or are following the news, you know that Los Angeles has been experiencing a lot of fires. And my daughter lives in Santa Monica, which is one of the locations where the fires broke out and where a lot of the people are evacuating. And she's new there, so she doesn't know a whole lot of people there. And let's face it, I don't know a whole lot of people there, but I realized that over the years, I have become friends with some people in that area. And I did something that was really uncomfortable, like super duper uncomfortable. And I actually reached out to a couple of them and said, hey, my daughter and her white fluffy dog are needing a place to go where it's safe, away from the fires, away from the ash, away from all the carcinogenics in the air. Even if she isn't in a zone where the fire is a block away, it was a couple blocks away, but a block away, she still doesn't want to breathe that kind of air, nor does she want her dog to. And to have people step up and say, absolutely, come for as long as you'd like. It literally almost brings me to tears. Because growing up and moving so many times in my life, I never felt like I had the ability or the opportunity to cultivate and foster really deep-seated friendships. And so many people, I feel, have done that. They make friends with individuals that they've known their whole lives, whether they live down the street or they went to school with them their entire lives, or they're involved in a passion that they love to do, whether that's, for my daughter, singing and dancing. And they stay in touch over the years because that passion and that hobby keeps them connected. I didn't feel like I had that. I didn't. I moved so often that I wasn't able to have that duration of time and that consistency to really foster those friendships. And then when we would move, unlike now where they have stuff like this, where we can physically see the person as we're talking. How amazing is technology, right? We didn't have that. And so the only way to keep in touch was snail mail, what we call snail mail, where you actually wrote a letter, not an email, not a text message, wrote an actual letter to the people. And it would take, 2 weeks for the letter to get across the country, and then they would have to write back, and it wasn't really conducive to continuing friendships long distance or any kind of relationship. It was hard. It was hard doing that long distance. It's a lot easier now to do it long distance when we have the capabilities through the technology. Might not be perfect. I mean, let's face it, it's not perfect, but it's better than it was. And what I realized through these hardships, through these trials and tribulations, through these moments of vulnerability, through these tapping in and saying, hey, I need some help. I need some help. Can you help me? I used to feel was a huge burden, a huge imposition. I have worked hard to shift that belief and that thought. We talk a lot about how our thoughts become our beliefs and our beliefs become our reality. And that thought became a huge belief that asking people for help was an imposition. Asking people for help was a bother. Asking people are so busy, they don't want to help me. That was a story that was totally and completely untrue. And so I worked on rewriting that story and instead realized that it's actually an honor and a privilege to help somebody in need. And when somebody reaches out to me when they're in need, I feel so honored that they trusted me and called upon me, and I have the opportunity to help them when they really needed it, right? When they really, really needed it. And to deny someone that opportunity, what kind of friend am I being? And what kind of friend am I allowing them to be if I'm not giving them that opportunity? It's been a huge mind shift, a huge perspective shift. And as a result, I've had to rewrite a lot of my stories. I've had to rethink a lot of my thoughts. I've shifted my beliefs. And I now see things differently. I've activated my reticular activator in ways that it wasn't activated before. And I'm starting to see that as much as I felt alone, and still do on many occasions, as much as I felt isolated, and still do on many occasions, that I can stop that feeling anytime I choose to do so by just saying to someone, hey, what are you doing? What are you doing? You want to get on a call? What's a good time for you to jump on a call so we can catch up? And doing that will allow me to foster those friendships. And then, examine more about what I want. What kind of a friend do I want? And I do think that there are different types of friends. There are different types of friends for different things. And I think that friends, like I said, come into our lives for a different reason, a season, or a lifetime. One of the things I include in my book, Words of Wisdom, what you need to know on the road of your life's journey. If you're interested, I have a book that I poured into as a result of a nightmare that I had. Why is it that whenever we have a hardship or a nightmare, that's when beautiful things come out of it? But yeah, I had this nightmare that I actually passed away. And I wasn't able to share with my girls all the things I wanted to share with them. And so for an entire year, I would wake up in the middle of the night, I'd be driving, I'd be in the shower, and I would think of things that I would want to make sure that I let them know about, and I would write them down. And I had no idea what I was going to do with this. I had no idea. And I started writing them out. And then I thought, well, a picture's worth 1,000 words. And I started putting pictures to them. And then I found a place that would print one book, just one, because it was just for them. And I ended up printing it for them. And then I printed it for my nieces. And so when I became a public speaker, and I realized I didn't really have anything else to give people who may want it after they hear me speak, I realized, oh my gosh, I have that book. So I went back and I tweaked it just a little bit, and I published it, and it's on Amazon. And I call it a picture book for adults, for people who have ADD or ADHD or whatever it is, short attention spans. Because unlike a novel, which I love novels, but unlike a novel, you can open this, you can read it cover to cover in a few minutes. You don't need to read it cover to cover. You can just open it and get the words of wisdom on the page that you see at the moment that you need it. And I'll drop the link below at some point if you're interested. Now, how did I get on that topic about the book? I don't even know. We were on Friends. Talk about a squirrel. I don't even know how I got there. Yeah, I don't remember how I got. If you remember how I got there, tell me how I got there. Oh, my good golly, Miss Molly. I don't know how I got there, how I got distracted off of the subject of Friends. It happens. That's how my brain works sometimes. Right? Yeah, fostering of friendships. So anyway, I thank you for spending the time with me today. I thank you, Linda, for being there at a time when I really needed a friend. It helped me to define friendship a little bit better, a little bit clearer. It made me realize what kind of friend I wanted to be to others. And I am also realizing how much better my life is with friends. You know, when I travel, it is super fun, but it is way more fun when I do it with somebody. And so one of my intentions moving into 2025 and things that I would like to flourish are my friendships. And there's a couple of things that I do. Don't be surprised, those of you that are my friends, that on occasion I just send a text message or I send a voice memo when I happen to be thinking about you, or something comes across my day that reminds us of something that we've done. And know that I am here for you. Simon Sinek, which is one of the reasons why I'm having this conversation, because I listened to him this morning, one of my many mentors, who was talking about friendship, and he said that he and his friends have that resistance, that hesitancy to call each other, and he found out through research, I'm botching this something bad. He does it much more eloquently. But through research realized that in our time of need, really all we need is 8 minutes. So now, instead of saying, I need help, or do you have time? If he is in crisis or if he is in need, he'll say, do you have 8 minutes? And that means I'm actually in need of some help, not, hey, I'm just checking in, I want to see how you're doing, right? And so it has become a standard, hey, do you have 8 minutes? And I would love to implement that moving forward. I don't do that. I beat around the bush a lot before I finally get to the point of what I need, because I'm working through baby steps of rewriting my story, of telling myself this is not a burden, this is not a pain in the neck, this is not a nuisance, this isn't a inconvenience for people, that people actually want to help. And I know that when I have a friend and she needed help and she reached out to me, I was honored. I was excited. I was happy. I did not feel bothered or burdened to help by any means. And so, I need to remind myself of that. And maybe you needed to be reminded of that today as well. So, on this fabulous Friday, I hope that you foster some of your friendships. And if you feel like you don't have any, start planting some seeds and going out and finding some. And it might take a while. It might take a hot minute. And you might plant some seeds over the next week or month or year. But it starts, the 3 steps. Awareness, consciously decide, and take action. When you're aware that you want more friends, you'll activate your reticular activator, which will go out and find you more opportunities for people who are also looking for friends. You'll consciously decide and declare that to the universe, that is what your intention is. And then you'll take action to align your desires with what you want to create. And that's the secret. And so hopefully you'll go out, and if you have some friendships that are kind of dwindled, you can resuscitate them. You can bring them back to life at any time. I think they say sometimes that you have, what is it? Is it silver friends, gold friends, and platinum friends, or something like that? Different levels of friendship. Oh, that was what else I was saying. I was saying that we have different types of friends. We have friends for different reasons, right? Sometimes I have a friend that is real adventurous. Anytime I want to go do something out of the norm, she always is like, I'm there. I'd love to go. Linda being one of them. Oh, you want to go to a candlelight concert? Oh, I'd love that. Oh, you want to do a scavenger hunt? Oh, that sounds cool. Oh, you want to do a concert on the beach? When is it? Right? Always up for something new. Then there are friends that are more into the quiet, not big crowds, right? So I would call upon them. Some of them are, I don't want to call them fair weather friends. Some of them are there to celebrate when times are good, but can't really handle when times are not. Others are the warriors, and they want to only be in there in the times of bad. They want to be the rescuers. They want to be the supporters. But when times are good, you don't need me then. You can do that on your own. And so there are different levels of friendship. There are different friends for different reasons, different things. Maybe I have friends that help me with my business versus help me with my dog, right? Not all people are dog lovers. And maybe they're more into helping me with my business, connecting me with someone that can sponsor my event or provide something for a gift bag. But they're not going to help me when I need to get coverage and have somebody to let the dog out, right? So we have different friends for different desires or different needs or different wants. And that's okay too. And that's okay too. And we might be that for somebody else. And that's okay too. I don't know who has just joined, but welcome. I hope you've grabbed a beverage. And so on this fabulous, freaking fun-filled Friday, as my friend Janine says, I hope that you will foster your friendships, allow them to flourish, find some new ones, because studies have shown that having friends is the key to living a long, healthy, prosperous, enjoyable life. So go out and find yourself some friends and foster the ones you have. Pick up the phone and call and say hello. And let me know how that works out for you in a comment below. And I hope you have the most wickedly wonderful weekend. And I will see you on Monday. See ya.